Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I know it's been a while. I'm Matthew, and this is Museum Makers Live, a YouTube show here on YouTube where we talk about science, nature, and technology from inside the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, specifically the Viz Lab that I run here. And we'll be doing that while playing Minecraft. Now, usually what we do is we have a particular topic about animals or the environment, nature, things like that. And then we go off on a little field expedition within Minecraft, maybe have a challenge or two, and then do some building. But today's episode will be a little bit different. Today's episode is just going to feature the building, specifically a building update. So I've done quite a bit of work on both buildings off camera, and I figured it's about time I showed you all how it's been coming along. So the building I'm in right now, the Nature Research Center, part of the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, is the largest science museum in the Southeast. It is a LEED certified building. It is award-winning. It is the most attended attraction in North Carolina in most years. It's a big museum, and it has satellite buildings throughout the state. And what we've been doing is working on recreating it within Minecraft at 1-to-1 scale, inside and out. While we do that, we're filming ourselves at different points, doing shows like this. And then when we're done, we'll release that online for anyone to download as a mod pack so that you can explore the museum, do whatever you'd like to it, but also you can just learn like you would here because the exhibits are there, the information's there. Not quite all of it, but almost all of it. As you can imagine, there are lots of compromises that we have to make. And sometimes some of the smaller stuff is hard to squeeze in, but we're doing our best. So the point of the stream is to show you those things, but also to give you a chance to ask us any questions that you might have. It can be about Minecraft, sure, but my background is in nature and environmental science and technology. Inside of this lab where I am right now, it's kind of blurred out because it's a public lab and the museum is open. It is a space where we do a lot of 3D printing, a lot of electronics, robotics, using technologies like Arduino and Raspberry Pi. We build lots of things. And so I can answer your questions about how to make things or how things are made, but also about science in general. And if you're ever in the area, if you're ever in North Carolina, if you're ever in Raleigh, you can visit this museum and visit us here in the lab. It's free. The museum is free and the lab is free. And if you want to take it even further, we also teach classes and lots of topics, electronics and coding and 3D printing. You can do that as well. And if you ever visit us and mention this stream, if you mention this YouTube series, you may walk out of here with a little gift made by one of our many, many, many 3D printers. So please do so. Now, let me write in the chat here. If you do have any questions about anything or want to interact with us, use the chat. I am not alone. I am joined as always by Audrey, the coordinator here at the Viz Lab. Do you want to say hi, Audrey? Audrey's working on a project. One of the many events that we have coming up is a adult-only night event here at the museum. See, one of the things that most people don't realize is that museums are more than just exhibits. There's more to see than just exhibits. They're usually hands-on spaces, which this is one of them, but also museums usually host events, and lots of different types of events, usually an event every month in some cases. And one of the events we have coming up is an adult-only event called Monsters and Magic that you do have to pay for, but with that, you get a really exciting opportunity to check out all the exhibits and activities that we have planned, all related to magic and monsters. Specifically, we have to be very careful about how we advertise this, but basically it's Dungeons and Dragons themed. If you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons, you're going to be really interested in this event. And it's adult only, which means that there's going to be food, but also alcohol as well. So there's A lot of fun to be had. We haven't done this event before, but we've done similar events. One of the last adult night events that we had, the second to last, was Lord of the Rings theme. It's called Social in the Shire. And one of the things that we did for that in this lab here was we built a tower, which you can see there. You can see the top part. So I don't think I need to tell you what that is, but that's just the top part of it. There was a whole full-on body made of cardboard electronics and 3D printing of a barred door, 12 foot tall. It stood pretty awesome. And now, if you come visit us, you can see the top part too. So there are lots of events like that, and they're a lot of fun. So check it out online. naturalsciences.org is the website. Ask us any questions you might have about it in the chat too, if you'd like. Well, let's get into it here. I'm going to get Minecraft loaded up. And so, so Audrey is working on a tabletop activity, a battle map that she is making within an open source program called Blender, which is a great 3D modeling program. And she's recreating some of the exhibits that we have, some of the full-size, very large dioramas that we have. And we'll have special characters that can go through this battle map, some really cool characters. So if you come to the event, you'll be able to see it. It's going to be big. That's excellent. And those have been chosen because those are real creatures we have in those areas. So we have it's a museum, but we actually have a lot of live animals too. Let me show you, before I get into Minecraft, real quick, what we're dealing with. Let me go, here we are. Oh, there's Audrey. So I have my PowerPoint up here. This is showing off the museum. So there are two buildings. One of them is the Nature Exploration Center. That's this building here. And connected to it via Skybridge is the Nature Research Center. That's what you see here. So we are sitting right up here, part of the Nature Research Center. And then this is the Viz Lab, small portion of it. Here's the rest of it. So we do a lot. We have a lot of exhibits that we've made from scratch using coding, electronics, and we have a makerspace. This is where I'm sitting right now. A makerspace, we do a lot of 3D printing, electronics, robotics, stuff like that. And again, you can visit us if you're ever stop by. Enough about that. Unless you have any questions in the future, I am now getting Minecraft going, and we will check out the progress that has been made. Let me fix this here. Okay, yeah, I was in the settings here to turn the volume off. All right, volume's back up. I need to get I'm going to actually close out of here. And I want to get the shaders going. Hold on. This is a heavily modded version of Minecraft in Java 1.20.1. Let's see, shader packs, that's there. Okay, so I should be good to go. All right, let me get it loaded here again. All right. I don't need to be holding anything.
There's whale.
Oh, you know what? Let's make this a little bit more exciting. Let's do this. I've been building it in creative, I'm sorry to say, but because this project is about the creation of these buildings so that we can have them available to everyone, not build and survive at the same time. Also, I'm not very good at survival.
Even in creative, it's taken like 3 years.
Yeah.
To get to the point that we're at right now.
So I'm going to give myself some food. Yeah. And I'll give myself some light. I didn't do that correctly.
This has your shaders on.
Let's do that again. Yeah, there we go. And I'll give myself a weapon. No, I won't go with. Let's how about there? That's all I need. And now let's go in there. Game mode. Survival. Okay, this will be great. I don't need anything right now. Okay, so here we are. This is the entrance to the Nature Research Center. To the left here, this is a new dinosaur lab. It's brand new. It's called the Dino Lab. Don't have the inside fleshed out yet. Go in. So this is the grand entrance. The first thing you notice when you walk into this museum is that there's a really cool exhibit floating above your head. It's made out of glass. It looks like a huge like ribbon. And that is made of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like 4x4-inch LCD panels. And each of those panels, when electricity isn't supplied to them, are completely transparent. But once a small current is applied to each individual panel, the panel goes opaque. It becomes black. Those are the liquid crystals inside. And so like what's on a calculator screen or something. And so what that exhibit does is it makes animations by turning those individual little cells on and off. And it goes through lots of different animations, simulating like rain and geese and amoebas, things like that. It's really cool. And it makes sound as well. Over here to the right, these are just elevators. Now, I plan on adding the creative mod to see if I can add some working elevators. Well, that is right now the elevators. What are these spaces? Yeah, those are the elevators. Yeah, see, they're just holes right now. I know you can do bubble elevators. I don't think
I don't think we were streaming.
No.
I looked at the last 3 episodes and I did not see the.
It wasn't the last time, but I know it's happened before where I've streamed without any shaders. I don't know if we figured it out during that stream. I don't think we did, but I don't have a very good memory, so I could be wrong. This is one of the bathrooms. Oh, actually, this bathroom's not fleshed out. So this area here connects to, there's a cafeteria. So there's a really good cafeteria on the first floor called the Daily Planet Cafe, and I haven't created that yet. That'll actually be fun to create. I haven't thought about that. Got stairs over here. These doors are open because some villagers have moved in. There's a villager with a golem. There's a village close by that I had nothing to do with. My light's working? No. So I have blueprints for this building, and I'm using those blueprints to recreate every single part of this building. So every space, every main space, but also every back room, every meeting room, every closet, it's all part of this. This exhibit right here, this is a whale skeleton, which we will make with more detail using the program Blockbench. This is a right whale skeleton, and you can learn a lot about it by reading the exhibit. There are signs on the exhibit.
We also talked about that in our last episode.
That's right. We've talked about it a few times. I think the first episode as well.
But our last episode was whale specific.
Oh, that's right. Yes. One of the things I like about this exhibit is that there's a section of the whale, one of the bones on one of the hands, that's set up so that you can actually touch it if you want to. And there's a boat here with a dog, and that's there on purpose because one of the things they talk about is how these whales, how their health is monitored. And one of the ways they monitor their health is by collecting samples from them. One of the types of samples that they collect from whales is their scat, their fecal matter. And
poop. That's poop. If you don't know what scat or fecal matter is, that's poop.
That's right. And if scientists know that the whales may be nearby, they can, even if they can't find them, their scat will float for a while at least. So if they're able to capture that, then they can learn a lot from it. Well, one of the ways to more easily find it is by using something that can detect it from afar, and dogs are really good at that. So there's at least one trained dog. What was that? There's at least one trained dog that can find their scat from quite a ways away and lead scientists to it. And scientists can learn what the whales have been eating, where they've been eating, whether they're pregnant or not, and how healthy they are. So there's a lot to be learned from that. And the name of this whale is Stubby, by the way. Stubby has a whole history, and yes, we talked about it in the last episode. More. This is the entrance, and over to the left there is the exit of the Dino Lab. I need to work on the ceiling in here some more. What's cool about this lab is, so this is the lab space where they actually do their work. There's a really great fossil of a Triceratops and some kind of Tyrannosaur that died, or at least fossilized, very close together. They may have had contact. They may have even had conflict. That's one of the things, as they're being unearthed, that the paleontologists are researching. And what's cool about this lab is, you see this opening here? Well, in real life, you can walk through it here and see them and ask them questions while they're doing it. That's one of the unique things about this museum, is that you can get up close and personal with the researchers. And even if you can't, they're behind glass, so you can at least see what they're doing. That's very unusual. Museums always have researchers.
Well, usually.
Usually
Not all
have researchers.
are research museums.
But you usually can't see them because they're usually behind closed doors, or in the basement, or even off-site. But here in this building, they're behind glass. So this room over here is a little recording studio. There's like a green screen room. I don't need to go in there. This is a very large saltwater aquarium, the biggest one in the museum. It's like 1,000 gallons or something. Very, very big. I don't remember how many gallons. Very, very big saltwater aquarium that mimics the environment here on the coast of North Carolina. North Carolina has an extensive coastline and lots of different types of communities. So there's there are a bunch of saltwater fish in here, like jacks, and there one or two lobsters are in here. My favorite fish is that there's a pufferfish in here, and it's really fun. A very curious little fish. If I go back into here, I have some turtles set up. And the reason why is that one of the things that the museum does on occasion is rehabilitate sea turtles. I don't think we have any at the moment, but back in the early summer, whenever there's a cold snap over the ocean where sea turtles are, it can affect some of them. They're exothermic. That means they're cold-blooded. So if they get too cold, their metabolism slows down. They can't swim very well, so they get washed up on the beach, and they can even die. So if they can be saved before they die, if they can be rescued, they can be sometimes rehabilitated and then re-released. And our museum does that. So over here is this is the Daily Planet Theater. So there are chairs here. I haven't put them here yet. And then this is a really cool screen that plays movies all day long. And there are also talks given here. I need to put a podium right there. Talks by the educators and the on-site researchers, but also visiting researchers and scientists, where you can listen to their talk and ask them questions.
Where is that physically, Matt?
This is on the first floor of the Nature Research Center. Inside of the giant globe. That's why it looks like this.
So it is a concave screen.
Yes.
When you are looking at it. So it's the inside of the sphere. Big sphere.
It's like half of a planetarium inside. These are just little closets. Close these doors. We've got stairs back there, and I think another little supply room. Before I leave this floor, so this is just a visitor services area. This is where you can go to pick up maps or ask any questions. Again, there isn't a fee for just visiting, so you can just walk right in and start exploring immediately. Over to the right here, if you continue through here, this is again where the cafeteria is, but also to the right is one of the gift shops. There are 2 gift shops. Well, 2, sometimes 3. There's 3 if there's a traveling exhibit currently going on. This is the gift shop for the Nature Research Center, which closes before the museum closes, so budget your time wisely. There's a nice sunset going on outside. There was a nice sunset last night. I don't know if you saw it. It was amazing.
Did you see the comet?
Oh, no.
Um,
We saw it from North Carolina. Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I couldn't because it was too cloudy, but
Right.
supposedly we should have been able to see it.
Oh, no.
My parents saw it out at the beach.
Nice. There was a nice full moon last night, too. And lots of clouds. It was cool. All right, so going up to the 2nd floor of the NRC. This is a classroom space that's used for meetings and classes. So it's not usually open to the public. These structures in the middle here, these are stand-ins for exhibits that we need to flesh out more using block bench. This one is about climate and climate change. This end rod here represents, there's a really great real looking model of an ice core. So one of the many ways in which scientists study climate of the past is by looking at ice cores. So they go out to places where there are glaciers that have been around for a long time. Glaciers and ice sheets grow very slowly in certain places, and they lay down snow, which compresses into ice year by year. So you have these layers, and scientists can actually count the layers and double check the layers based upon what has happened in the past, like major volcanic eruptions or even nuclear testing, to figure out what layer represents what year. And then within each of those layers of ice, there are trapped bubbles of air. And so there are these little mini time capsules from years gone by of what the atmosphere was like. And I think that some of the oldest samples are from 10,000 years ago.
It's
that
kind of like
correct?
the environmental science equivalent of a fossil.
Yes. But they get even more information from it, because a fossil is with a fossil, the specimen has been replaced by stone and whatever was in the area in the matrix at the time. But with these bubbles of air, that it is the thing that was there at the time. I'm just double checking a number here with Google to make sure I gave the correct number. Oh, I said 10,000 years. No, the oldest one is nearly 1 million, 800,000 years. I think I've seen 900,000 years as well. They have to drill down like a couple kilometers to get to that ice. It takes years. It's very difficult. So yes, and so if you have samples of the air, then you can analyze that air to see what it was made up of. And if you can see what that air was made up of, what atoms and isotopes were in those air samples, that'll tell you what the climate was like at the time. Whether it was cold, whether it was warm, and how much of different gases are in the atmosphere.
So what was the carbon dioxide content at the time?
That's right.
Things like that.
And anything else that was trapped in the air, like pollen grains or spiders or anything like that, will be trapped in the bubbles as well. Yeah. So
spores,
paleoclimatology.
Yeah, very cool.
Is very, very cool. So there's a little bit of that here. You'll find some more in our lab as well, the Viz lab. So let's see. There's so much to show and talk about. Any questions, please enter them into the chat. Over here, this lab, this is called the Naturalist Center. This is where you can interact with specimens. So they have trays of specimens representing the wildlife of North Carolina. So this is a great place to go to identify something or learn more about the plants and animals that call North Carolina their home. There's also microscopes and some really cool interactive tables with projectors that project information, text and videos about specimens that you put on the tables that are really cool. This diorama here is a deep hydrothermal vent community diorama, which we've already made models for this. We need to just stick them on here.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't think about that. There are a couple cool box turtles that live in this terrarium. Again, there's live animals everywhere. This is a weather exhibit with live information about weather and forecasts, things like that. This lab is a biodiversity lab. This is where they study animals from all over the world by tracking their locations using camera traps and also GPS loggers that they put on the creatures themselves to figure out where they're going and how they're doing.
They also work from our collections, our museum collection.
Right. So moving on. Ooh, this area has suffered some damage. So some of the, to be honest with you, some of these interiors don't look as good as they should because I recently disabled a mod that has ruined some parts of this museum. It was a weathering mod, and it had made some of the natural blocks age and then replaced them with other blocks. And then when I turned it off, then those blocks went away. So some parts don't look as good as they should, and that's because I need to do some repair jobs. Like this right here. This is the immersive theater, I believe it's called. This is where you can select different videos to play, and it includes some live data, earth data. So temperature, precipitation, and also some, I think, some other planetary data that will project on a screen that is like, I don't know, maybe 180 degrees or so. It's really cool. It's extremely immersive, as the name suggests. Here's a Daily Planet Theater again. Why don't we go up these doors here will lead you onto a bridge that takes you in a nature exploration center. But you can also, there's a top part of the bridge as well that is open to the air. We'll probably use that to go over to the museum, or we'll go out the front door. So let's take these little back steps here.
You cannot use those in real life unless you are a staff member. Otherwise, you will get locked in.
That's right. Or if there's an emergency, there are those sorts of steps. All right, there's the top part of that bridge. And so this is the top floor that the public can typically visit. So on any given day, this is open. So again, there's the Daily Planet Theater, and this is one of the other research labs. This is the genomics laboratory, where they study things at the microscopic level, like bacteria and viruses. They have a display of skulls on the front here, so I'm using these guys at the moment. These exhibits here have to do with DNA and genetics. This lab here is the astronomy lab, where we have astronomers on staff. And so there are a lot of very large television monitors showing the research that they do on like galaxy evolution. But they also have a lot of telescopes in there.
Very, very fancy computers.
This exhibit here has meteorites in it, including meteorites from, I believe it was a 2013 meteor that landed in Russia. We have parts of that. You can find videos of that. It shattered windows, did some damage. It was really interesting. I don't think anyone was hurt. And then this exhibit here has more meteorites, some big ones, some small ones. And then there's a piece of a Mars rock that was discovered in Antarctica, I believe. And that's one of my favorite exhibits because with that Mars rock, you can get up, not only can get close to it, I see the printer going. Not only can you get close to it, but you can also touch it. So you can literally come into this museum for free, go up to the 3rd floor, right next to our lab, which is right over there, and touch a rock that was a part of Mars. And I know it just feels like a rock, it looks like a rock, but knowing that it used to be a part of Mars, I think, is astounding. And the reason why, so they know it was a part of Mars because they analyzed pieces of it using machines like mass spectrometers, which that's where you break down a sample, put in the machine will tell you exactly what the sample is made of, and then they can compare that to what they know Mars is made up of. There are robots on Mars right now that have done the same thing, so they know exactly what it should be like. How did they get here to begin with? Well, every once in a while, planets are hit by asteroids. Planets are hit by meteors. And when they are, then some of that debris, if it's going fast enough to escape, if it's going faster than the escape velocity for that planet, then it shoots off into space and hits other things. So there's a theory out there called panspermia, whereby we got some of the building blocks for life on Earth from other planets that also had life or building blocks. And that's not too far off from what actually happens. There's a lot of exchange of materials between the planets as one thing, as a rock strikes a planet, it sends it off little pieces in all directions. The most famous asteroid to hit the Earth, as you know, is the one that took out the dinosaurs about 65 million years ago, the Chicxulub meteor. And what's interesting about that is that would have absolutely sent off a lot of dust and debris into space, some of which probably did land on nearby planets like Venus or Mars, certainly would have landed on the moon. And so what's cool about that is that pieces that hit the moon may have included some of the creatures that were walking around on the surface at that time. So there may actually, if we were able to analyze every single speck of dust on the moon, we may actually find some pieces of dinosaurs from that time. And I think that's really cool. So one of the things I really like about science is the more you learn about the world through science, I think the more interesting it becomes, because there are just so many things that you wouldn't have thought could have ever been possible that you find out either are possible or could be possible. Let's see, moving on. What'd I press? Oh, that's fine. All right, so yeah. Hey, I have lots of doors that were destroyed from that weathering mod. This is just the inside of the astronomy lab. This is where their offices are. This is the Viz lab. This is where we are right now. And so it contains a bunch of digital exhibits that we've built and a makerspace where we build a lot of, where we build using code and electronics and 3D printers. So we do a lot of 3D printing to build exhibits with and to teach with, but we also do a lot of coding and electronics and robotics. And we do those things to support the museum and build exhibits, but also to teach. We're interested in showing people that they can learn how to make things too. A lot of the things that you use in your daily life you can actually buy the parts and make them yourself. Might not be exactly the same, but you can get pretty close. So as a good example, right in front of me, here, I'll turn the camera. Right into me. See those right there? Those are hanging there. Those are virtual reality goggles that I built from scratch back when VR headsets like Oculus were first just started coming out. When they were too expensive for us to buy, I challenged myself to build them from scratch. And so I did, using 3D printing, Blender to make custom frames, electronics. So sensors so that it knows it's not just a display, but there are sensors that know where your head is in X, Y, and Z space, and then that connects up to a computer and code that runs that I wrote to display everything properly, so it looks like you're looking around in a world that you want to be in. And as we mentioned several times, using Blockbench to make custom 3D models. This is a really great example that Audrey made here of one of our 3D printers. Let's see, right now it's calibrating itself. Let's see if it...
If you go into creative inventory, go to the NCMNS tab. Click on the thing that says SD card that is invisible. Then right click on it. Right click on the Prusa. Then you will be able to have it print a model.
Okay, so
go to the next page. It's on the 3rd page. Should be. Hold on. Go back. Where's the... Are you... Huh.
I mean, I obviously have it here, right?
Yeah. It's a little...
Maybe I can just search for it.
Maybe?
Prusa? What do I
No,
need?
it would be S space. Try S space.
What am I looking for?
Nothing. That's the problem.
Oh, jeez.
It's a blank space because for some reason I can't get the item texture to work.
So it doesn't, its name is just, oh, okay, here's S. Oh, I found it. I found it. Okay, there's a little bit of an underline to it. Okay, so I just click on it with that. Okay, so this is supposed to be an SD card, obviously. If I right click on it. Oh,
it's
okay.
got to calibrate.
Right. Oh, look at it. Oh, look at it go. Oh, that's so great. Let me change my view here.
Oh, it looks like the screen animation didn't get fixed. That's strange.
Sorry, everyone. I know this looks weird. I'm just looking like a goober like that. Oh, look, it's dropping them all.
Yes, it drops them off. Cool. And then you can place it as a block. It's a benchy, which is one of these guys. Do you have a benchy over there?
Oh, yes, I should show up a benchy.
I have one here.
Thank you. So what that printer was printing was one of these, affectionately called benchies. These are little test models that people often, or at least used to, use to test their 3D printer to see how it can handle all these curves and overhangs and lettering and details. They'll let you know how well calibrated your printer is and if you need to change any of the settings. So benchy, coming from the word benchmark. Look at them all. That's great. That's great.
If you go and pick it up, you can place it.
I can?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. All right, let's try this. Oh, yeah, look at it go. Oh, that's so great. I haven't played with these. Fantastic. That's just fantastic. All right. So, let's see here. Oh, while I'm in here, I should be able to... I don't see Chip, but he should be there somewhere, right?
Yeah, Chip is...
Chip is an egg?
Yes.
Yep.
You can just look up Chip.
Got it. All right, so the other thing that we've made for the Vizlet that Audrey has made is this little fellow. Look at that. That's Chip the robot. Chip's a little autonomous robot. Oh, Chip can climb. Okay, our Chip in real life can't climb. Where's Chip? So Chip is an autonomous robot. Here's Chip in real life. Chip is an autonomous robot based upon the Arduino platform. So there's a little blue circuit board in there called an Arduino. It's the Arduino Uno specifically, very popular microcontroller board, which means so it's a circuit board with a long microchip on it. And it's not like a computer. It doesn't have an operating system. What it does have is the code that you put on it. So you write code or download code, and then the board is set up so that you can easily hook up anything you want to it. Wires, lights, motors, sensors, there it goes, all sorts of things that you can buy. They're very, very cheap, and then you code it to do what you want with those parts that you've attached to it. What Chip does in real life, let's see if the battery's okay. Chip is an autonomous robot that moves around.
What does autonomous mean?
Oh yeah, autonomous. If you don't know, autonomous means that you don't, once it's on, it's going on its own and making decisions on its own. So it doesn't have a controller or anything like that. What it does have is a sensor, an infrared sensor that's measuring distance. So if it gets too close to something, it will stop, back up a little bit, look all around, measure distances in front of it to choose the clearest path, and then select that path and go on it. So that's Chip. And that's the sort of thing that you can do in here. And we can tell you we can show you how to do it in a class, or we can tell you where you can go online to get parts and do it on your own.
We have a series of videos that is an Arduino tutorial on building one of our robots, not Chip, but another one of our autonomous robots.
That's right. So that's on YouTube. I think you'd look up.
Is it on the museum channel or is it on our channel?
You know what? Yes, it's on the museum's channel. There's a playlist for learning Arduino for the first time. So the museum's channel is, I think, called Natural Sciences.
The channel that we're currently on.
And see Museum of Natural Sciences, and you'll find it. Okay, so elsewhere on this floor, this is a great exhibit that's filled with these glass models of microscopic organisms like amoebas, diatoms. And this lab over here, this is called the Investigate Lab. And this is where you can do all sorts of tabletop activities, learning about things like pH, and there's some genetics activities as well. There's a big fish tank here full of jellyfish, full of jellies, moon jellies. There's a little bit of alchemy going on. A lot of hands-on activities in here. Let's see what's down here. This is that's a supply closet. There's just offices in here, which I haven't fleshed out yet. These are the elevators, bathrooms again, water fountain, stairs. Really great views from here. The top of the museum has solar panels. Okay, so that's it for this floor. Let's move on up to the fourth floor. Now this floor doesn't have any exhibits on it. This is mostly meeting rooms. So we do open it up for special events. Sometimes we'll have people set up here and activities set up out here. So one of the neat things it has up here is a green roof. Though currently in game, we have these structures here from a Firefly episode. We need to move these structures. They're not here in real life. But there are plants, mostly succulents, which are related to cacti, and some really cool rocks from different parts of boulders from different parts of North Carolina. This is a great space to look out over the city in real life.
And currently look out over a construction zone.
That's right. That's just a hallway leading to stairs. This is a big meeting room. Currently there's a pond in there. That's not there in real life.
Oh yeah.
That's still there. This is another little meeting room with this little pastor is actually here in real life. There's a kitchen in there. Yeah, that all looks good. And if we move over here, again, those are the elevators. This is a lab. What is it called? History of Science Lab? Something like that. I've forgotten what it's called. But that one is not open to the, headed up by a researcher, and it's not open to the public. And this is where we have our offices, actually. These are just cubicles in here. And as you can see, I have not fleshed it out. Oh, I need to get back into survival. Not that there's much to worry about. But monsters do spawn in here. There are some dark areas. Those are just bathrooms. All right, let's go back down. I think we're done with the NRC. Yes, I think so. There might be some little rooms that I missed. But nothing, I didn't miss anything terribly exciting. All right, so let's go to the Nature Exploration Center. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go in through the main entrance. 'Cause that's what you would do in real life. Go through these back stairs here. Oh, jeez. Yikes. That sound is pretty serious when you have headphones on. It sounds like you're breaking a bone. Yikes. Pleasant. Okay. Go to the NRC. In real life, this building is in downtown Raleigh. So I think when we're done, we will add maybe a street going around this.
We are right across from the Capitol building in downtown Raleigh and the legislature.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to have to do some swimming. If there's any good creatures in here. Oh, it's one of the salamanders. I think that's a hellbender from one of the mods. Oh. Now I'm going to see if some of these animals I've added are aggressive or not.
Oh, I should have made the snapping turtle aggressive.
You did?
I didn't. I should have.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Maybe my next update I will make her bite.
Okay. Well, as it should be, the cassowary is aggressive.
Cassowaries are scary. I find very large birds very intimidating.
It's not very fast in the game, which is nice. Not going to hit a cassowary. It doesn't feel right. So that's a real bird in real life. In the game, it's actually... Okay, stay back. In the game, they don't actually look that big. In real life, they're like ostrich size.
Yeah, and they have that weird giant bone on top of their heads.
Yes. And you see the colors of it in the game here. That's accurate. They are wild animals. Really wild. Okay, fella. Maybe you won't follow me into the museum. Oh, you will? Okay, cool. Let's go. Maybe you can't open doors? Okay. It appears a cassowary is not like a velociraptor. It can't open a door. Oh, its beak is right there. Poking through the door. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Terrifying.
Okay, I've trapped myself. Oh, it moved on. Okay. Oh, nope, it's back. All right. Well, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
If anything is a living dinosaur, cassowary is definitely.
Yeah. All right. Let's get out of here. Oh, hello. Goodbye. All right. So this is the main. You need to just go. I'll go into the gift shop. Oh, I may have given it a run for its... Oh, what are those symbols above me? Huh. I haven't seen those before. I guess it's
Those
from the
are
apple.
the benefits that you get from the enchanted golden apple.
Okay. Are those vanilla icons? I don't
Yes.
remember seeing them. Okay.
Yes, they just don't normally. They're usually not in the middle of the screen. They're usually on the side. But
Okay.
because you have the mini map, they put it in the middle. It looks like.
Oh, all right. Makes sense. Okay, so this is a here. I could hear a monster. This is the gift shop in the other building. And this is what it looks like in real life without the products around. And it has 2 levels. The top level here. The top level here is, oh, I better close these. There's surely monsters in there. The top, oh geez, something opened something. There's a cassowary. Isn't there a button you can press? I've done it before where you can zoom in without a spyglass.
You can with Optifine.
Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe that's what I was doing. All right, so this is a gallery up here, like an art gallery with art that you can buy. I think made by local artists. Pretty cool. The gift shops in this museum, the gift shops are really nice. All right, let's look at that cassowary just sitting there, just waiting. Okay, so the nature, do you see me? The nature, good. I'm not triggering it. The Nature Exploration Center is all about the science of what we know. It contains examples of the flora and fauna and ecosystems of North Carolina. The Nature Research Center that we were just in teaches you the science, how we know what we know. That's why all those research labs are there, and there are labs with hands-on activities where you can do some science and learn some science. All these things here, these blocks with the clear glass, these all have dioramas inside them and taxidermied animals. So showing off different types, especially unique creatures of North Carolina from today, like Venus flytraps, to the Carolina parakeet, which is extinct. This one here, which will be really fun to build, is a full-size 1-to-1 scale model of a megalodon jaw, largest shark yet discovered, prehistoric shark. And I think some of the teeth in it are real, but not all of it is real. But you can really stand next to it and be behind it, and it looks like you're inside of its mouth. It's really great. There's a great exhibit here with a. Did we decide whether it was a cougar?
Yeah, it's a mountain lion.
A mountain lion.
Well,
Okay.
cougars and mountain lions are the same.
All right. Yeah. So there's a great taxidermied mountain lion here, which actually looks a lot like this cat. It's the same color, and it's standing like that. It's really funny. Let's see. So there are bathrooms over here, bathrooms over there. You want to take a peek? See if there's a monster? Nope. Monsters. If there's a creeper and it blows up part of the museum, I'm going to be upset. So far, the only one who's blown up parts of the museum is myself. Over here, this is a theater. This is the WRAL Theater. Usually there are monsters in here. This is a WRAL theater. It's a traditional theater where they play movies at different times of the day. I think that they're all 3D movies. So things, space and dinosaurs. The movies change regularly.
There's fungi and microscopic organisms and all sorts of different science topics.
Is that an echo? Oh yeah, there's an echo. Cool. All right. I don't know if I don't think that's vanilla. Let's see here. What else? Over here. What was that? Felt like something pushed me. This goes into the loading dock. Oh, geez. I think that was an Enderman. This goes into the loading dock. I haven't fleshed out this area yet. Oh boy.
Oh, I guess we haven't done the loading dock in the NRC either.
Oh, that's right. I never even thought about that. Yeah, need to do the loading dock over there. And the whole cafe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is coastal North Carolina and about the oceans or ocean around North Carolina. So there are lots of aquariums. Now in real life, these are dioramas here. This big one and this big one. These are and well, this one too are dioramas with just models of creatures. But using the magic of Minecraft, we're able to add real fake creatures in here.
Well, the little one in there, the panel of 2 there, that is an actual aquarium.
Well, not this one.
No, not
to the left of it.
Wait, where are we?
So this one is, there's like some floating sea some kelp or something, and it's fake. So it's between these two big ones.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, I know where we are now.
And to the left of these two big dioramas are 2 real aquariums. Boy, they're really dark right now because it's dark outside. 2 aquariums with this one, I believe, has some seahorse in it, seahorses, and the other one, I don't remember what of note is in it. Oh, I see there's a little spinny thing on the screen there. OBS must be trying to load something. Oh, it's probably the PowerPoint. No? Is it trying to load? It's not that.
It's where one of my other screen shares would normally be.
Oh, yes, I bet you're right. So, that one? No. That one?
I could
yes,
share
I
my
got it.
Blender thing.
It was something
it won't
else.
Be very interesting.
Something boring. Okay, above us here are some whale skeletons. We'll get a better view of them later. Those are real. So there are several dioramas here having to do with the coast and the dune communities here in North Carolina. One of the cool things about the North Carolina coast is that we do have a lot of intact dunes. Dunes are like hills of sand that shift as the wind blow them, but serve as communities, environments for plants, specific plants and animals to live on, like sea oats and other types of very, very hardy grasses and reeds. And the sand dunes between the ocean and everything else, like houses and roads, are very important because they act as buffers. A lot of times they've been just demolished so that houses or roads could be built. But then they're not there to protect those things. So we try to protect them. They're very important. And you're not supposed to go into them. They always have like signs and ropes up. Again, I'm going through this museum for anyone watching. If you have any questions about the museum that we're going through, which is a real museum in it right now, or about nature, science, or technology, this is your time to ask in the chat. So this diorama is about where the ocean meets the sand, and it shows all the different creatures like mole crabs and ghost crabs and other types of crabs I don't remember at the moment.
And there's a sea turtle nest.
Yeah, that's right. Right over here, there's a cross section where you can see the inside of they cut away at the sand so that you can see sea turtle eggs, which are hatching with the little turtles coming out. That's right. Sea turtles like to visit North Carolina's beaches to lay their eggs and grow up. So let's see here. Let's see if I remember these different communities. So this community here features some some driftwood, and then underneath that driftwood are creatures like toads and snakes that live.
Maritime forest.
There we go. What is it called?
It's a maritime forest.
That's right,
So
maritime
there are
forest.
living trees in addition to driftwood.
Yes, and then even more living trees in the exhibit right next to it. So like shrubs that do not grow very tall, so that it becomes more shaded in this area. If you ever camp out at the beach in North Carolina, this is the sort of area you want to find so that you have some shade. Otherwise, it can be pretty brutal. All right. Then at the end here, we have a real aquarium with some fish in it. I don't remember which kind of fish, and a turtle, though in real life it's down right now for repairs. And then there's a diorama of mud flats with little fiddler crabs and creatures that live in that salty mud. Yes, this exhibit here has a pelican diving down and dioramas of fish.
Some of the pelagic open water.
Right. So it's kind of similar to the real aquarium on the first floor of the NEC where the pufferfish was. And this is, I believe, a nursing room. And then a bathroom over here and a closet. And then those are stairs. Over here. There's just some signs on the wall over here about, I think, ocean temperature. Let's go up the escalator, because we are done on the first floor of the NEC. So this building was built about more than 20 years ago. The Nature Research Center has been around for about 11 years. Okay, so we're on the second floor. So now we have a really good view of the whale skeletons. So starting over here, I only remember what a couple of them are because there are several. Hold on just a second. I make sure this isn't an important call. Nope, hopefully it wasn't. Okay. So there are several types of whales. I don't remember them all at the moment, but the big one here with what look like teeth is a sperm whale skeleton, which is a very large toothed whale. Again, you can go back to our whale episode, which was episode 21. It was an episode right before this. There are some smaller whales beyond that. This whale is a blue whale, so the largest by mass creature that is not like a fungus or a tree that has ever lived, even compared to the dinosaurs. No small feat. This is called Nature's Explorers. This is about the Brimley brothers, who actually built this museum initially, however long ago that was. I forget how long, many decades ago. And so there are some, so it shows off what their office looked like, and has some of the original exhibits.
A lot of what the first started out.
And this room here is called, it's still Nature's Explorers. But this room here has some really cool samples of the different types of rocks that can be mined in North Carolina. They're actually spheres in real life. They're really cool looking, glossy. You can touch them. And then the different types of wood, different types of trees that are typically logged. Carolina has forestry is very big in North Carolina, as is agriculture. And then we have, remind me what this area is called with the waterfall and all that.
So it's Mountain Cove and then Savannah Seep.
Okay. All right. So
Mountain Cove is at the very end, and then Savannah Seep.
Okay. So this is a Savannah Seep area. And so these mimic different types of ecosystems that you're going to find in North Carolina. and include. So do I have the snapping turtle?
You do.
Oh, cool.
Go ahead and place her.
All right, so over here so there's a siren in here, which is a type of amphibian that's a lot like an axolotl, but really long. Looks like an eel. And then behind there's a diorama of a swamp, but in front of it is a tall aquarium full of gar, which apparently have escaped. So they're in here right now, but they shouldn't be.
Not in real life.
Right.
They have not escaped in real life.
Yes. Not yet. I have a little soft shell turtle there from one of the mods, but Audrey made a snapping turtle, which is here in real life. So let me pull that up. Oh, I've got
it. The right size. I forgot to act.
That's all right. Oh, look. Snap. Snapping turtle spawn egg. Well, I don't know if this is yours or not, but there is one.
Yeah, that's mine. It's
okay.
Pink and black.
Yes. Yep. All right. Let's see what it does to this gar. Oh, it looks great. Oh, look at that shell. This is the first time I'm seeing it. That looks great. That's great. Yeah. Fantastic. The size is good too. That looks very well. That looks 1-to-1 scale compared to everything else.
Awesome.
Looks great. I mean, I guess it's technically bigger because it's almost the size of a block, but from the perspective of my character, it looks perfect. Look at that guy. He's great. He's usually up against the glass too, so you can get really close to that snapping turtle.
And that is specific to our snapping turtle because our snapping turtle is missing an eye. So in the texture.
You took out one of its eyes.
One of its eyes.
Goodness. What we do to make things realistic. Okay. Well, hopefully they'll all be friends in there. Moving on. Do I have the lizards?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll put those on there. Is there anything else I should grab while I'm in there?
Really the only two big ones are the turtle and the...
There it is.
There's like filament and cloth and stuff, but...
Okay, so should I put this on top of a block?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a top to it? No.
No,
okay,
there's
that's
not
fine.
a top to it.
All right, here we go. Look at that. Ah, that's
it's
great.
Backwards.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. All right. Try this again.
Attention museum guests. Time is now 5 o'clock. Museum is closed. Hope you had an enjoyable experience. Please make your way to the SFI. Thank you for spending your day with us. I look forward to welcoming you again soon.
I'm going to keep going, but whenever you want to, feel free. Okay. So these are the glass lizards. So what's special about the glass lizards is that if you look really close, you may notice they don't have legs. So they look a lot like snakes. But if you get close enough and are patient enough, you'll see that something looks a little off with their heads, and you'll also notice that they blink. I don't see these guys blinking though.
It will.
Okay. They're slow blinkers. So they have eyelids. Snakes don't have eyelids. That they can, yeah. Trying to decide whether that was literally true or not. So called something else. All right, what else is in here? There are lots of plants and animals that are, models. You'll even find our state has a lot of carnivorous plants, so there'll be fly traps and pitcher plants, and you'll find some other things that look carnivorous, like lady slippers. There is water here in real life with some fish. And fallen logs, uprooted trees. And then the star of the show is a 2-story waterfall, which is a lot of fun with fish swimming below it. They can't climb it though. Not like these guys can. So continuing on, this is like a TV screen in real life. I'm missing a lot of carpet. I think it's, well, I know why it is, but so whenever you see these things on the floor here, they're not going to be there in the final museum because I added them from down below. Oh, so this is underground North Carolina. So this is all about what is underground in North Carolina, different types of rocks and minerals,
Gemstones,
gemstone,
tiles.
yes. So pretty things like, yeah, crystals and gems, but also it goes into
Roots,
coal and things
worms.
like that. Yeah, roots and worms, exactly. So this is kind of a fun area. Really pretty collection in here. This is a discovery room. This is a great place to take kids, even really young kids, with lots of hands-on activities and collections and puppets and costumes. And this is where our bees are. Oh, I need to put that's going to be a fun one to do in
Well, there are
Block
beehives.
Bench.
I think we should just put a bee box in there.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah, could we could we position it so they could go, we could position it so they could go leave the museum and come back and produce. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I guess that's best. So there's a beehive in here with glass. You've seen these things before, so you can get up and close to the bees and try to find the queen, things like that. Watch them do their little dances to tell each other where the flowers are. Really, really cool. One of my favorite things. You can wash your hands. More exhibits having to do with rocks and minerals. Little closet. The echo is freaking me out. This is, wait, is there anything? Oh, those are stairs. What's over here? Oh, just a closet. Freight elevator. This is a gift shop that's used for when there's a special exhibit. They'll have gifts related to the special exhibit.
The
Bathroom.
special exhibit space is also on the second floor.
Yeah. But the special exhibit space in real life will, our next special exhibit is about space. And it looks like it's going to be really good and include a 1-to-1 scale replica of part of the space station.
Oh, cool. I had no idea.
Yeah. So this, there we get some monsters. Hey, buddy, go away. So this is the special exhibit space. Nope. And there isn't, I defeated one. There isn't much going on in here at the moment. There's some spiders. These blocks, I think Enderman probably moved them there. I did not put those there. All right. There's various aquariums featuring native little fish. That's just a little closet. That's elevator. Okay, let's go up a floor. Wait, did I miss anything? No, I guess not. Covered everything on this floor. We've got one floor left, and then the stream will be done. Again, if anyone has any questions about this bill or about science, nature, technology, please enter them in the chat. All right. Oh no, there's another floor after this. We're just on the third floor. Okay, so here is a really cool overlook where you can see the waterfall. They slide sometimes. No. This is a great space. This is called Windows on the World. This is where presentations are done. So like Mr. Wizard type presentations. So we'll have an educator there, and they'll have live animals or do physics demonstrations. And to the audience right there, do live science shows. And this, you can see this from outside. So this is like the rotunda. And from outside, this is, if you're looking at the museum and you see big dinosaurs, this is the area where the dinosaurs are. So there's Acanthosaurus. Acrocanthosaurus. I have so much trouble with that. And I always forget which type of sauropod this is. Right here. And they look like it is being chased. And then there are some pteranodons up top flying around. So these will be made in greater detail using block bench as well. Let's see what we can see over here. I can see the big tree from past episode and lots of things that we've done past episodes.
All right, I am headed out.
Okay, Audrey.
See you tomorrow, Matt, and I will join whatever stream we do next.
Hey. See ya. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Let's try to wrap this up here. Okay, so if we head this way to the right of the escalators, we see a giant skeleton of a land sloth. It is absolutely enormous. Do I have a good picture of it here? Let me see. No, I don't. I've shown it off in past streams, though. It's great. What I do have that I can show off, let me see if I can grab it here. So one of our interns, our last intern, Cornelia, made a 1-to-1 scale model of the hand of one of these giant sloths. Look at this beast. Articulated hand. So a sloth had some really big toes and claws used for grabbing trees and stripping branches and eating. And I'm sure defending itself, which it wasn't able to completely do because they're all dead now. The giant sloth skeleton is one of my favorite exhibits. And then over here, we have these armor stands are just representing people from a few hundred years ago at this point, gathering materials and water from a stream, but also one of the kids discovering some fossilized dinosaur bones sticking out of the bank. Here is where you can go through the ocean of the past. So in real life, it's fake water here, and then some creatures from the past, some prehistoric marine reptiles primarily, but also fish. So here we have bones, more fossils of dinosaurs and creatures that were alive at the time of dinosaurs. That's what all of this is, really. All dinosaur fossils. Over here, there's a 1-to-1 scale replica of a T-Rex skull. You can get up close and personal and touch it, and everything is absolutely enormous. That's a really cool exhibit because it looks very realistic, and you can really get a sense for how big those beasts were. These pillars here represent some exhibits that talk about time, specifically deep time, and the evolution of the universe. Keep going this way. And this is where we have a lot of salamanders. So this is replicating these are dioramas of woodland forest. We have skunk and deer and birds, but then there are also turtles and salamanders, newts, and there's a hellbender here as well, which is the largest salamander in North America. They can grow, I think, like 2 feet long. They're big and very cool. So this is just access, mushroom in there. This is just access for getting to those exhibits. And these are stairs, but also through here, if you go all the way through. Oh, these are where the classrooms are. So we have classrooms here for classes that are taught, and birthday. I need to fix that. And birthday parties are held here as well. A little workroom and a pass-through to the other classroom. They're called the blue and gold classrooms. And this room here is where we keep some of our collections, not the living collections, but the collections used for like animal hides and bones and things like that, that the educators that we use teach with. And this is a back door to the for living collection. So this is where all the supplies are kept and food for the animals that are on exhibit. Rooms. That's the back area for some of the living exhibits. So this is where we have some terrariums with snakes. This is more living collection. So again, having to do with care of the animals. And this is a tropical connections area. So this is a big spinning globe of the earth, and you can press buttons to show off, like highlight where all the rainforests are, things like that. We'll make this in more detail later. This is tropical connections. So we have snakes and tropical snakes and turtles and some ants here that live on a particular plant in a symbiotic relationship. We did an episode that included that. Forgotten their names, however, apologize. And let's go up to the last level. I think that's it for that level. So this level here has a cafe, the Acro Cafe. What? Felt like something moved me. The Acro Cafe. Oh, the butterflies just landed there. Cool. The Acro Cafe. And then this is the Living Conservatory. So this is where you can go in to see a lot of butterflies. Oh, and a mantis. So this is a butterfly room full of lots of real butterflies and plants. And there's a sloth. I'm not going to take the time to place it right now, but we've shown off the sloth in many other streams. So that's one of the most popular places in the entire museum. And we've got bathrooms over there. This is offices. So we have some aquariums here full of shrimp and fish. And this is office space. Want to see our offices real quick? This is for office for the educators who work here in this building. And like I said, we're trying to include everything. So we've got all the cubicles. We've got all the chickens that live here. Oh, well, what was that? Oh, this is a kitchen. And this kitchen is connected to the volunteer lounge. So if you volunteer here, the museum can't run without volunteers, or more volunteers than staff. This is one of the areas you can hang out in and relax. And there are lockers and, again, a kitchen. And then these are more office spaces. It's all here. Really trying to include every single part of this museum. I think I can exit this way. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Those are elevators. And this is the back room for the cafeteria. This is a room that's not open to the public. This is used for meetings primarily. This is a top part of the rotunda. You can look down on the dinosaurs. Just a minute. And so is that it for this floor? I think that it is. Oh, there's a great giant model of a praying mantis here. This is about insects, this area here, where everything is much larger than life. Oh, this is the arthropod area, the arthropod zoo. So this is where there's another live lobster, but also you're going to find like tarantulas and millipedes and related creatures. Hissing cockroaches. Aquariums. Yes. So that is the top floor here. The only other part of this building that I don't think I've shown, these are just some office rooms connected to that room I showed you before. The only other major area would be the 5th floor, which is never open to the public because this is, why does that happen? Is never open to the public because this is where the top of the hierarchy of the museum, this is where their offices are. I'm going to take a quick peek. Nothing exciting, it's just offices. Offices and meeting rooms and more chickens. Let's go out on a balcony here. Hey, chicken. Yeah. So I think that's it. Yeah. Well, I am very precarious there. All right. Okay, everyone. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this update on the state of the Minecraft Museum. With the exception of maybe like the loading dock in both buildings, and there is underground parking, which I think I'll add as well. The majority of the floor plans are done. We're just using Blockbench to work on the add details to the exhibits. And once we add those other main areas, then we'll be ready to release it to the world to download for free. So if you'll have any questions about any of this, now that the stream is over, just add them as comments to this video and we'll answer them as soon as we see them. So hope you enjoyed this update. Thank you all very much. Get my character doing something besides just looking down. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everyone.